During COVID, I sold everything I owned in Vancouver, moved into my parents' place, waiting on a US visa that had no guarantee to go through, so I could move to New York City during COVID to study with Terry Knickerbocker. Without that one decision, none of this would have happened. This Sunday is my fiance's first Mother's Day. That never would have happened. My son Jackson never would have happened. VoiceOver School never would have happened. This channel, we wouldn't be talking right now. The reason I bring this up is because in life, we're always afraid to make bold decisions. But it's those bold decisions where the biggest adventures and the best gifts you could possibly have come from. As they say, fortune favors the bold. You know, I got this quote that I've always gone back to, like, in my entire adult life. I actually got it from one of my first acting teachers when I was like 19 years old. And it really helped me out in difficult situations. I've made a lot of crazy decisions in my life. And this passage helped me through it. Maybe it'll help you too. If you're sitting on a decision you're trying to make, or this channel is about voiceover. And if you're, trying to make a decision in your voiceover career or even start, maybe this will help you out. So this passage is from a Scottish mountaineer named W.H. Murray, written in 1951, right before he climbed the Himalayas. I actually didn't really know most of that shit. I just figured I should research it for this video. I just really like the passage. He ends it by quoting Goethe. I think you say it like that. I used to think it was Goethe, Goethe. But then some smarty pants corrected me and said it was pronounced Goethe. I'm probably butchering it. If there's anything that you're struggling with in your life, any kind of decision, any kind of bold choice, I've found this passage, what I'm about to read to you, unequivocally true. And it's been at the spine of every big decision I've made in my adult life. Here it is. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. Whatever you can do, or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. That just hit me right in the feels. I love that quote. For those of you who have made really bold decisions in your life, don't you find that so true? The moment you commit to something and go down a path, all sorts of things start to happen to help you out. So how this all went down, right before COVID, I was going to take a summer workshop in New York with Terry Knickerbocker, who's this big acting coach. And COVID hit, so they did it online. At the end of it, Terry said, hey, you should do the 2-year program. I was like, well, COVID's going on right now, and I don't think I'm coming to New York during COVID. And he was like, well, we're going to do the first year online. Second year is going to be in person. And I said, Terry, I'm not an American citizen. I have to work. I don't have a visa. He's like, you'll figure it out. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Give it a shot. I didn't sign up yet. It was always in the back of my mind. COVID's going on. I'm still doing voiceover because voiceover is one of the jobs that didn't get shut down by COVID. And I'm in Canada, largely in my apartment by myself because it was illegal to go anywhere. And my buddy Brandon was in town and he was shooting a TV show. And we went for a dinner and I was telling him about this. And I had at this point, I think maybe days to make a decision before they filled the spot for the school. And I was telling him, I was like, listen, I want to do this. I want to study with this guy. But the first year's online, the second year's in person in New York. And he's like, so get a fucking visa. I'm like, I've done a handful of Hallmark films, bit parts, and I don't basically to get an O-1 visa for America, you have to kind of be famous or at least of that high level in the country that you're from. I've done a ton of commercials at this point, but the US government isn't going to care about commercials. They want to see you actually on TV in something of note. So Brandon said that he got a guy. He's got a buddy who went through the process recently and had an immigration lawyer who I talked to. And they said, yeah, listen, you're close with your voiceover stuff, but you need some big credits. So at this point, after the consultation, I was kind of deflated. It was like, where are my big credits going to come from? Commercials? They don't care about that kind of stuff. They want airtime. They want something big, recognizable on network TV. whether it's like a narration or the lead in a TV show or something like that. And I didn't think it was going to come about in the next year. So I was about to say no to Terry Knickerbocker School and just continue staying in Vancouver. And Brandon pushed me a little bit more. He's like, listen, you'll figure it out. Hire the lawyer, something will happen. Just give it a shot. And if worst comes to worst, you just do the 1 year online. You don't go to New York. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. It's expensive. The world's ending. COVID's going on. Why not? And so I signed up for Terry Knickerbocker School. Amazing program. And I started on my journey of trying to get my O-1 visa for the US. And the biggest hurdles I had was obviously getting a really big credit that's going to push it over the top so I can get it. And then getting a sponsorship for my visa. Somebody that has a company down there says, has got to sponsor me to go work for them for the tenure of my visa. And then out of nowhere, I got an audition for a TV show called Backroad Truckers on History Channel and Hulu. And as soon as I got this audition, I was like, I got this. Like, not like in an arrogant way. It just felt like it was for me. The audition was to do just like a passage from the script. They gave me the whole script. I did the whole fucking episode. And then a few months later, I got a call back. They wanted me to come into the studio to do like a test. And I asked my buddy Brandon, because he'd gone through this a bunch before when he's done TV shows. He's done like screen tests and stuff. I'm like, whoa, got any advice? He's like, don't act desperate. So I didn't act desperate. I went in and they wanted to see if I could dub to like the show. They had the show on and I was doing the promo for the show and I had to time it, the beeps and all that kind of stuff. And I was prepared. I was ready to go. And it went really, really, really well. I got along with the director. Everyone's wearing masks at this time. It was pretty weird. And yeah, I hit all the beats. They ended up using my callback for the actual promo intro of the show. And I got the show. So I got a network show out of nowhere. Never had one before. Never done a docuseries before. And I booked it right after I went out on a limb and said, fuck it, I will figure it out. I'll start going for my visa. That put it over the top. That's one of those things where when you definitively make a decision and go after your goals, all kinds of things start happening that you couldn't have planned or foreseen. That's one of them right there. Another one was I had to get a sponsorship. One of my friends in class, Kat, introduced me to a voiceover coach who's amazing, Marla Curbin. Sadly, she's no longer with us. She was one of the greats in our business. She introduced me to somebody else, a friend of hers, who would end up going on to sponsor me for my visa. And it all worked out like that. Now, here's the thing. When you submit for your visa, it could take a little while. So I sold everything I had after the first 9 months of Terry Knickerbocker School online. Sold everything I had and moved to my parents for a month, waiting for my visa to go through. I've already searched out an apartment in New York. I've already paid for it and I don't even have a visa yet. So finally my visa goes through like 7 days before school starts, already into the month of September. And it goes through. I get the word 7 days before. Jump on a plane and go to New York and I attend class. In that class, one of my partners was one of my friends named Amanda. And she has a friend who needed to do a self-tape. I had a self-tape studio because I was trying to do on-camera acting as well as voiceover in New York. Voiceover worked out really well. On-camera acting, not so much. But I had this studio. And she sends her friend, Heather, to come over to my place to do a self-tape because she's a model in New York, Heather is, and she studied acting as well, and she wanted to get into acting, so she self-taped at my place. I opened the door to see her, and I was floored. The most beautiful, stunning woman I've ever seen in my life, and I just stood there. I was like, She's like, can I come in? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. She's like, hey, I'm Heather. I'm like, I know. I was super awkward, super weird, and luckily, she thought I was cute. One thing led to another. I chased her a little bit, and next thing you know, bam! Jackson is here, our son, and we moved to Florida. So what is this long-winded story telling? It's telling you that life's an adventure. You only get one shot at this. At the end of it, don't you want to say, I left everything on the table. I made the big, bold decisions. I really fucking went for it. That's what I want. This is one of the crazy stories I have. And I'm not special. I just trust. I feel like whatever you subscribe to, whatever religion, whatever theory, all that kind of stuff, there is some kind of force in the universe that's got your back. it interacts and it sends you beacons and lighthouses and things like that. When you really, really, really go for what you want in life and just trust that it's gonna work, things start to work in your favor. And not just in the business you're trying to build, but your life too. So, is this like a one-time thing? Do you make bold decisions once in a while? No. Make the bold decisions every chance you get. So, right now we are in Daytona Beach, Florida, and I don't know what's next. We're looking at LA. I'm doing a lot more video games and animation auditions. Yet to book a big AAA game, but my agents are really throwing a lot of stuff at me. But if you really want to do that stuff, LA kind of is where you got to end up. We're looking at, other things too. Maybe we end up in New York. Maybe we end up in Vancouver. Maybe we move to Europe. I don't know. But right now we're trying to look to see what the next big bold decision is, because if you make a casual decision, things kind of stay the way they are. If you make a bold decision, life is an adventure and the universe will provide. Just trust. So if you're thinking about getting into voiceover, if you're thinking about whatever it is, maybe you're an actor, maybe you want to be a stand-up comedian, whatever it is. Maybe you just want to start a business, be an entrepreneur. Go for it with everything you have. And when life presents you with an opportunity, fucking take it. Even if it doesn't work out the way you hoped it would work out, man, what an adventure and a story you will have to tell. So thank you for sticking with me in this one. A bit of an unusual one for this channel. Usually we talk about voiceover and voiceover tips. I wanted this to be a little bit of a motivational one, because one thing I find in voiceover school, there's a lot of people that struggle with really going for it, whether there's another job holding them back, or whether it's a financial situation, they're worried about investing in their equipment, whatever it is. I find that, a story like this can be helpful, because there's really nothing to fear. We all end up in the same place at the end of this life, so you might as well go for the stories, because that's the only thing you can take with you. All right, thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one. Peace. Is that how I do? How can I end like that? This has been another video. I've been Jesse. We will see you in the next one. Oh, happy Mother's Day to my beautiful fiance, Heather. I love you, baby. Many more Mother's Days to come. Everybody in the comments wish Heather a happy Mother's Day. Her first one ever. Bye, guys.